Good morning. Yeah. Our hose reels are done. And we'll deal with that in the rollback. We are on step 6, just starting step 6. A moment ago I got out the H sprue. There's 2 of them. And I was noticing that we're about to lose this little part here, which is obviously a piece that goes on to mount the one of the small boats on, a boat bracket. So what I've done is I've made up a test tube here, and the idea is I don't know when we're going to need H17, but we'll be ready when the time comes. Okay, there we go. Anyway, let's just roll back and we'll see how it is we got to this place. Okay, they are done. And it probably took me a little over 2 hours to do them. They're fairly easy to tell apart because they're small, medium, and large. And you remember I was saying that one of the large ones, it was going to look a little bit lopsided. That's too bad, eh? That's the way it goes. The smallest ones were the hardest ones to do. There's 3 small ones, 4 mediums, and 2 large. And I'm going to assign the same numbers to them as the Nelson, so that when we get to that place, as long as the placement on the Nelson deck was the same as for the Rodney, we should be able to figure it out. And if not, possibly the spacing of the holes that are in the Rodney's deck will sort of give it away. That would be wide and then medium and narrow. And yeah. Anyway, they're done. All right, we have now finished step 5. Step number 6. It looks like turrets. I was looking at it a moment ago, and it looks like the photo etch involved is fairly easy. It's just no bending involved. It's just ladders get glued on the sides. It looks like each turret gets a ladder. We make 4 of this one, 2 of this one, and 2 of this one. And I think that when we make 2 of this one, but when we get over here, this is just to show that the life rafts, one goes on top of the other. And the positioning of the photo etch. So it looks like there's 2, 4, 6, 10 altogether, 10 turrets. I think, wasn't that how many there was on the Bismarck? The smaller turrets? I think there was 10, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but you know what? That's going to have to wait for the morning. What do we got here? Yeah, it's about 10 to 8 already, so I think we're going to call it quits for today. So, yeah, all being well, we'll see you in the morning. Now, it could be that I misread the manual here again. And it says make 4, make 2, make 2, make 2. So I thought that possibly, okay, I think that this is what's supposed to happen here. We've got H25 and H24. Okay, so here's 24. And this right here, these two are both 25s. Now, looking at them, there must be some very subtle difference between them, but I can't see what it is. Oh, yes, I can. No, this is the same as this. This one's the same. I thought at first maybe these little holes on the top were in different places, but they seem to be in the right place. But so we got, it says make 4 of these. Now, are these two right here, are they part of this one right here? I mean, are they all the same one? And it's a case if we're making 4 like this. Maybe I should look at the drawing of the entire ship and see, how many of these things we put down, and we'd know. Or maybe what I should do is just go by how many of these there are. There are only 6 of these. Now, that doesn't mean that we're supposed to actually have 6. I mean, sometimes there are extra pieces on the sprues, but and there was extra turrets, I think. Was it on the hood? Yeah, they're in a little tin over on the other side of the table. Or was that the Bismarck? Can't remember anymore. Too many models. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking now that these two here are just different views of these 4. And on 2 of them we put the ladder on this side, and on the other 2 we put the ladder on the opposite side. They both seem to have the same life raft. Now then we move over here to this one right here, which is the H24, which there is only 1 of, and it says make 2 of them. Well, here's a 24, and here's a 24. I hope you can see that. Sometimes I reach outside of this field of view, and I think you can see it, and I realize after when I'm editing, they don't know what I'm talking about. That's all right. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think I'm getting this slowly figured out here. I don't know if it's a case of Trumpeter is not too clear. Should they maybe have had a dividing line here to show that this is a separate section almost? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I've made up tins here, and we're going to keep them separate. So we're going to nip them off. We'll nip all the turrets off and get them in the tins. And I'm pretty sure I got it figured out now. I'm thinking out loud. Okay, do the same thing on the other sprue. Okay, now before I start cleaning the flashing off of the sides of the turrets, I realize that there is a chance that when I'm flipping them around here, I could get them mixed up. And I'm thinking that it might be a good idea, being as we're not going to be able to see the inside of the turret anyway. I'm positive right now that these are all number 25, so I'm just going to make a little 25. Okay. Then later on, I don't need to worry about them getting mixed up. Yeah, who says I'm dumb? Okay, I've cleaned up a 24 and a 25. And I'm curious, what is the difference? Now, when I put them side by side like this, and I have not measured them yet, so I don't know, it could be an optical illusion, but it appears to me that the shell, or whatever you call this part of the turret, is a little bit longer from here to here than this one. Now, let's just, for the fun of it, let's just measure it here. Okay, now the 24. Is it going to rattle around inside that measurement, or is it going to be the same? It's exactly the same. Okay, that must mean, well, are they a difference in width then? Sometimes trying to do something on camera makes it look really awkward. Makes me look like more of a klutz than I actually am. No, it looks like it's the same. Or is this one slightly wider? Or maybe I sanded it a little bit more because no, they're the same. Okay, they're the same. So then what is the difference? We put them like this. I honestly cannot see a difference. Why do they have why are they separate? Is there something on the inside we're missing? I don't think so. You know, the mounting for the barrels and everything is the same. Looks the same to me. Now, isn't that funny? So in other words, if I had got them mixed up, no one would have noticed because we can't tell the difference when we're putting them side by side. Oh well. Okay, so we got our parts all cleaned up now, and I was going to save these little pieces for our sprue pen or whatever it is we're going to make maybe someday, and I'm still planning on doing it. Just there's other things I'd sooner do. I'd sooner work on the model than turn a pen right now. So anyway, I reach over and I grab my tin that I'm putting all these extra pieces in, and I'm seeing we got 6 turret shells here, and I'm thinking, well, how could this be? How, you know? And then I remembered, oh yeah, the Nelson, it had it took these turret shells, and the Rodney did not. I'm thinking, just for the fun of it, Robert sent us the manual for the Nelson. Let's just see where do they go, just for the fun of it. I'm gonna just look it up in a minute. Yeah. Okay, we have ourselves here a microscope slide, and it's got a concaved center. It's approximately 1.5 centimeters across, I guess, and it's kind of concave like a little dish. And what I want to do, see if I can find a piece of sprue here that's got a bit of a, you might say, a ragged edge, so that if this debonder dissolves the plastic, that'll be the first thing to go. We'll put the macro lens on and just see. You know, I can't remember. I know I've done a lot of experiments, you know, with different stuff like CA glue, Tamiya extra thin and what have you, but I can't remember if we actually tested the debonder to see how it affected the plastic. So, and this is the debonder I've got, and there's not very much left of it. And the type that was recommended, I don't think it's available here in Winnipeg. But if this works, well, you know, I know it works on CA glue. I don't need to test this. I know it'll dissolve CA glue. I just want to see, does it hurt the plastic? So let's put the macro lens on. Okay, that concave circle is not very definitive. I can sort of see it in the monitor, and I'm hoping you can too. The light is not reflecting off the edges like... Anyway, the plastic part is right in the dead center. So let's just put some on there, and we'll let the time lapse run. Okay, it appears to me that probably half of it has evaporated. We'll just sort of move this around a little bit with Mr. T's poking device here. Is it softening the plastic at all? I don't think so. It's kind of hard to tell. I would say that almost all of it has evaporated now. There's just a little bit of moisture there. I would say now that 99% of it is evaporated, and that right now 100% of it has evaporated. Now maybe I should poke a little bit more slowly here. Do we appear to have lost the definition of the corners and the sharp edges? I would say for the most part it's survived pretty good. So we probably could have used this stuff yesterday when we were trying to separate those little discs. And I was kind of concerned that, you know, the plastic drum part of those hose reels was going to... okay, I can't poke and talk at the same time. Now, I just edited out the last scene that we just saw, where I was poking at our little part with Mr. T's poking device, and I was noticing that when you look at it up close with the macro lens, you can see that it did appear that the sharp point of the poking device was pushing into the plastic. At least it appeared that way. And yet the plastic does not seem to be any of the worse for wear after everything completely dried out. Now I suppose the way to, you know, to do it properly would be to soak the plastic in this stuff for, you know, 3 or 4 minutes instead of just a minute or whatever we did. And it wasn't, yeah, I think we could have probably done a better test, but for all intents and purposes, I think that something like this would have been safe to have used yesterday. Now, about Pizza Day. What is Pizza Day without pizza? Now, I am not going to bite into this right now. I'm going to save it for later. Yeah, let's see if we can get our the barrels for the cannons, and what else do we got to get? Life rafts. We still got a few minutes here. Okay, we've got G13 and G14, and 14 is considerably bigger than 13, and as near as I can tell, going by the manual, all the life rafts we need are the 14s, and as near as I can tell, we need a total of 8 of them, because a couple of the turrets have double life rafts, so 6 turrets, and yeah, that'd be 8. I think I better be a little bit more careful how I do this. So I'm just going to nip the rest of these off camera and get them. Now for the barrels, I notice there's a little bit of flashing that has to be removed from the end of this one. We need a total of 12 G24s. And being as there are 6 G sprues, we got enough. Now there is a little shaft that has to go in between these 2 barrels. It's called G10. We'll get that next. Okay, each one of these will accommodate 2 barrels. 1 barrel here, 1 barrel here. Now, I wonder if I can save myself a little bit of nipping here. You know what? Maybe I better not. Maybe I better do the trimming later. You know Murphy's Law. Okay, 5 more to go. And for the base of the turret, we need 6 G8s. Okay, I think we have everything. And I think that's it for today, folks. I'm going to wind it up. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.